Today I'm changing out my front brakes on a 2011 Cadillac CTS with the 3.6 all-wheel drive. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get right to it. I've already taken the tire off because if you're doing your brake pads, obviously the tire has to come off. Okay, so what you're going to need is you're going to need a ratchet or an impact with a 9/16 bit, which I've already loosened these up. You have two bolts you got to break loose, one here, one on the bottom. But you don't have to take them both all the way out. I've already broke them loose. The top one, you're just going to loosen up. The bottom one can come all the way out. Like that. And then you can just flip this. Oh, wait. It's going to be stuck on there a little bit because you've been driving and your brakes are a little tight. But once you get it loose, oh man, once you get it loose, oh man, once you get it loose, all you got to do is fold it back up. Oh, I should invest in a tripod if I'm gonna do this. All right, now it's loose. It is loose, okay? And I don't know if you've seen all that brake dust come out, but there's your brakes, your brake pads. And the reason I'm changing them is because they've been squealing at me, letting me know that's about time to change them out. So here we go. Oh yeah, it's getting close. I mean, there's still a little bit of life left in those, but I don't want to take any chances. So I'm gonna go ahead and change them out. I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. There's that one. Here we go. Yeah. Same thing with this one. There's still a little bit of life left in there, but they've been squealing. That little tab right there has been rubbing, telling me it's time to change them out. When you put the new ones in, look how much brake pads on that thing. So when you put the new ones in, if you look at the back of them, one will say outer, one will say inner. That means the outer one goes on the outside, inner one goes on the inside. And smart money says don't leave any of the old hardware in there, like the clips. Your clips come out. And don't put the brakes in without the clips. Look at all that dust, that dust and stuff on there. It's brake dust and rust, right? So let me set my camera up somewhere. Like right. Can I flip my camera around? All right. So you have this brake caliper tool that is for a single caliper brake setup, right? As you can see, I have two brake calipers. This thing is real easy. I'll show you how to do this. So normally you would have one of these little pads like this that would connect to the back, just like this, and it's set up just for that. You got your two spots there that go into these holes right here, and it lines up and it sits in there. It's magnetic. But since I've got two pistons, if I push one piston in, the other comes out, right? So instead of using this, I'm going to get an old brake pad, and I'm going to put it in there on cover both pistons. This right here, let's see, let's go ahead and tighten this up a little bit. We're going to go just like this. Make sure it's sitting down in there the right way. And you got to get your crescent wrench. And you're going to turn this. You're not going to turn this, because if you turn this, it turns this and it starts working its way out. But if you turn this right here, it only turns this. You have to hold still a little bit, and you'll start seeing the pistons go back in. You have to put them all the way in so that it fits over your new brake pads. If you don't, you'll be taking this thing apart and putting it back together, and taking it apart and putting it back together over and over. And that gets to be a pain in the butt. Alright, so I got the bottom one in. Whoo-wee! Oh, I didn't need that anyway. I meant to do all that. The top one did push in a little bit. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the top. And you want to make sure this is seated right too, because if it pushes out too much, it'll just work its way out and it'll fall off. It's really aggravating. And since the bottom one's already all the way in, this one goes in really easy. Put that back. Like I'm barely putting any force on this at all. Cause let's see, if I didn't have something holding the bottom one in, it would push back out at me, and I'd just be sitting here going back and forth with it. All right, so now you got these in. That's done. So your clips. These are your clips. This is what your brake pads sit in. They're gonna sit right here on the bottom. Just like that. And I'll show you. Just like that. And you're just going to push them down on there. Shouldn't take a whole lot of force. If it does, if it feels like it's not all the way on there, pull these off and wipe off the caliper. And then this one is going to go up top the same way, with this part here sitting in that groove, just like this. And it snaps right in there. And if you look, you'll see everything is nice and snug. Everything's sitting right down where it's supposed to. Okay. Sit back down here where you were. Alright. Again, outer, outer. You'll notice the curve right here is going to sit just the way the wheel is. It's going to line up with this. Set it on there. And then push it in all the way against the rotor. And then this one here says enter. Same thing. You're going to line up the curve with the outside of the curve of this. This little tab here goes on top. And you'll do the same thing. You'll set it in the grooves. Sometimes it's easier said than done. It's usually easier to set it in like the top in and then push the bottom in like that. You want to make sure, same, they're all nice and snug. Now when I fold this down, when I fold this caliper down, it's going to fold right over the top. But if you'll notice, if you look at that right there, that moves in and out. So does this one. So if it won't go all the way down, it probably means this needs to be pushed in. All right, but this one is already in. It's all the way in. Yeah, it's all the way in. Not going anywhere, I hope. So let's go ahead and lower this. Well, I say it's all the way down. We're gonna let's see, here we go. Take this. There we go. Now it's on there. your 9/16 bolt, put it back in the same place. Might have to move it around a little bit to make sure you got it set in there right, otherwise it'll just be twisting forever. There it is. Now I felt it go in. Tighten these two down. I'll tighten them finger tight. Get my ratchet. Now remember, you're looking at it backwards, so you're going to turn it to the left, so it's going to feel like you're loosening it up, but I promise you're not. You're tightening it up. And I very highly recommend using a ratchet or an impact, because if you do it with a regular open-ended wrench, it's a real headache. And you start saying four-letter words that you really don't mean, but your car remembers. And that is how you change the brake pads on the front of your 2011 Cadillac CTS. Whoo, it's hot. Till next time.